So today I got Alex Murphy keeping me company in the studio today. And this is my newest painting, and by the time this video goes up, I'm pretty sure this painting's going to be done. So you probably already saw it, but that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today is nostalgia. What brings all of us together for doing exactly what we do here on YouTube and every other avenue of the internet of talking about retro games. So what I wanted to do is just share with you guys my top 5 retro gaming memories. So number 5 to start off the list would be the first video game I ever played, and that is Combat on the Atari 2600. Now, unfortunately, this is not my original cart. Those got lost in history very, very long time ago. But Combat was the first game I ever played on the Atari 2600 when I was probably about, I don't know, 3-4 years old. I remember my father coming home one day after work and he had this huge box of games and an Atari with 2 controllers in there. And the first one we played was Combat. And I have a ton of memories from playing this, especially the tank mazes. I really loved the one where the 2 tanks were invisible and you can only see yourself when you shoot. But the one that I always remember playing was the airplane battle, where one person would play as the bomber and the other person would play as the squadron of 3 little planes. That was the first game that I ever played on Combat. Number 4, the first video game I ever beat, and that was Mega Man 3. And this one is my original copy. This, Mega Man 1, and Ninja Gaiden were the only 3 NES games to survive my childhood. And this game was one that I beat when I was about 7 years old, I would say. I finally got good enough at video games to actually beat it. But this one kind of cheated a little bit, because I don't know if you guys know, in the beginning screen where you can put in the codes of the different little bubbles, A6 Red starts you with 9 energy tanks, and that's the only way I was able to beat this game when I was a kid. Because if you think back, this was the first Mega Man game where after you fought all 8 bosses, you had to go back and fight another 8 bosses. So it was originally the ones from 3, and then you had to fight the ones from 2 again in 4 revisited stages. So this game was pretty damn difficult. Number 3, not exactly a video game, it's more of a movie. Let's put it right here, and that is The Wizard. When The Wizard first came out in 1989, it was December, so I had just turned 8 that year, and I remember seeing the advertisements for that on TV, and being 8 years old, I was just on the cusp of being just a little too young to know that Super Mario 3 was already out in Japan. So when that reveal came at the end of The Wizard, I still remember that to this day. My mom taking me and my little brother to the movies, and holy crap, that was the most amazing reveal to see Super Mario Bros. 3 in a movie with Fred Savage. That was one of the most mind-blowing things I ever experienced as a kid. Coming in at number 2, of course this would have to be on the list, Earthbound. And this is also my original copy and my original guide here. I don't know what happened to the box. It's either somewhere in my parents' house or it got thrown out, and I really, really hope that's not the case. But even more so than just Earthbound, it's how I got my copy of Earthbound. And that is that me and my brother back in the day were way into 16-bit RPGs. We played a ton of them, and we loved Earthbound so much. We rented it in like the summer of 1995, and we got so far in the game in the few days that we had it from Blockbuster, and we're just like, we have to get this game. We have to get it, but we got so far that we didn't want to buy another copy and just start all over again. So what I did was, 14-year-old Adam got on his bike, rode down to Blockbuster, and asked the person behind the counter, like, hey, would you mind looking up our name, looking up my parents' account, and seeing what copy of Earthbound I rented, and possibly selling that to me, and in hopes that my game was still on there? And they did. They looked it up, and the copy was in because it was the next day, and I was able to get it. Now, unfortunately, my original game is not saved on here, and I wish it was, because me and my brother put our names in. When you have to put your actual player name in, we put in our names as Adam and Ian because we both played the game together and switched off playing it for our first time. So it's just amazing to have this. It's amazing that I got my copy and it had our game still on there, and I will never forget that. Alright, coming in at number 1, talking about 16-bit RPGs. This one was my first one, and it has something very special still on it, and that is Secret of Mana. This is my original game cartridge, and I played the hell out of this. I remembered seeing the spread throughout a number of the Nintendo Power magazines that had the entire walkthrough for this, and this game just blew me away. The Mode 7, the story, the graphics, everything about it, the music, still one of my favorite soundtracks. But this game came out at a very important time for me, and that was in about 1993, and I was in middle school at the time. And I think for all of us, that's a pretty difficult time. Like, I was a smaller kid. Unfortunately, I really got bullied a lot back in the day. So these games, these were my escape, and Secret of Mana was one that I always came back to. And the special thing about this cartridge, that aside from it being my original one, my best friend at the time, Alan, still has his game saved on here to this day. So I got a little video, we'll put it right there. That's my game set up downstairs. That's Secret of Mana. And there it is, Alan, still at the Dwarf Village. So Alan Cunningham, if you're still out there, bud, you see this video? I still got your game saved on this cartridge here, man. You should come over. Let's finish it up. So, those are my top 5 retro gaming memories. I would love to hear from you guys. What are some of your favorite ones? Let's discuss, let's share. Please tell me in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you soon, and keep it pixelated.